My name's Charity. Welcome to When Love Interrupts. This is Travis, my co-host, and we have a very special guest today, Malynda. We are so excited for you, Malynda Hale. If you want to look her up, and I'll make sure to leave all your links in the down below. We're so excited. I know that you've recently taken over as the executive director. Is that right, for New
Yeah.
Evangelicals? And
Yeah.
congratulations.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So cool. I was so excited to see that once it got announced and everything. And so we just wanted to have you on here. We had Tim on, and we've had a couple other people lately. And I've been watching a lot of your stories, and like, of course, Tim's stories and all these different things. And so I really would love to talk to you today. I saw one that you posted maybe a day or two ago where you were talking about, how it's getting difficult to stay in that, like, we're trying to do this the right way, in this loving way and bridge these divides, and I too it's been very difficult the past little bit for me as well. And I know other people are feeling that. And so, I'm just curious, how are you handling your mental health right now?
Very carefully, I should say. I think that it feels a lot of people are saying these are unprecedented times, but unfortunately history has shown us when this has happened.
Absolutely.
You should be able to know how to combat it. But when you are witnessing it, it's really for me at least, from a perspective of disbelief, because we know what has happened in history, right? So I sit back watching like this was an open book test and we are failing it just aggressively, right?
Yes.
And it is hard, for me as a person of faith, as someone who follows Jesus, I do try to approach everything from a perspective of love and empathy and collective care. But it's easy to get angry right now. It's easy to be upset. But I've said this a lot, just like in staff meetings with TNE, and like, we can appeal to people's righteous anger, but we always have to lead people back to their hearts, because that's what it is about, right? Jesus flipped tables, but then he still helped people after he finished. He didn't just keep flipping tables, right? So we flip the tables, but then have a call to action and a goal after that.
Absolutely.
Right? So in terms of my mental health, I've just been, this is gonna sound funny, but just like last night, I just watched Hallmark Christmas movies because I just needed to take myself out of it.
Yes, please. I know, right?
So I highly encourage anybody to just find that one thing that is for you, that allows you to kind of disassociate, not in a way that you're ignoring everything, because you shouldn't ignore it. You should always be aware, but that gives you a mental break, because it isn't healthy to always be doom scrolling. It isn't healthy to always be watching the news and to always be having these conversations. And it does take a toll on you. And I think it takes even bigger toll, especially when you feel helpless and you don't know if there's anything that you can do.
That's it. Because this morning I was talking to my husband, and I told him, I was like, I don't know almost how to keep myself from becoming a nihilist at this point, because I do feel so helpless. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like we're just so helpless to fight against this corruption and power and and everything. But at the same time, I have such a desire to fight back against it, kind of like you've been doing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's necessary. It's necessary.
It is necessary.
But I definitely have grace for people that don't have the capacity to do it at the moment. And I don't want to shame them in any way, shape, or form. I think everybody has different thresholds for this type of stuff. But I think if we all are in the mindset that collectively we do need each other in order to beat this, then we will.
Yes.
So we just have to kind of meet people where they're at and allow them to engage in the way that they feel like they're able to.
That is so good. Yeah, and that's something I need to work on. And that's so good. That's very good. That's encouraging.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's a difference between people just completely ignoring it, which there are those people that I do get frustrated with. Do you not know what's happening?
Actively,
but
just,
actively ignoring it. But for people that just need to take a minute, I get it. I totally
do too. And I really do. And I came from a very fundamentalist background and
Mm,
grew up very conservative, lots of purity culture, all the fun stuff. And watching the same people that put all these pressures on me to be perfect and to act
mm,
perfect and to stay pure and to do all these things, seeing all of them now support a war and that's happening with babies
yeah,
that are
yeah,
literally dying of starvation,
yeah,
and stuff,
yeah,
and
yeah.
and supporting like a man like Trump that has been the exact opposite of what I've been told my whole life,
Right,
And
right.
so, yeah, I did. I walked away for a little bit, but then I was like, "Okay, I think it's time to come back."
Yeah, good for
Yeah.
you, good for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mhm.
Do you have any questions, Travis? I'll let you
You,
talk.
you know, one of the things I was thinking about, Melinda, when you were talking about following Jesus, being a Jesus follower, is that even Jesus went away
Mm,
to
Mm,
pray. Jesus went away by himself, but he always came back. And when he came
yeah,
back, he was ready to love. He was ready to heal. He was always ready to jump into action in the ways that Jesus acted.
yep.
So I think what you said to me fits so well with that theology of, yes, sometimes for our mental health we need to step away, but we have to step back in. And
yeah,
sometimes it's that unpleasant dance of in and out
It is.
as we work toward the goals that we have.
Yep.
One of the things though I was seeing I wanted to talk to you about is that you have a United Methodist background, you have
I
AME
do.
background,
Yeah,
and
mhm,
then
yeah.
also United Methodist background, which the two denominations are very, very closely related
Yes,
as they
yeah.
connect. Do you still identify as United Methodist now, or is there a different denomination that you call home?
I mean, I don't really call anything home at the moment. I
Mhm.
just follow Jesus.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's really where I'm at. I
Sure.
have a deep love for the AME church. That's what raised
Yeah.
me. I have a deep love for the
Mhm.
UMC church. It's where I served for many years. No ill will to either of those
Mhm.
denominations. I just think as I've grown in my faith, as I've grown in my activism, for me, it's just a lot simpler
Yeah.
to
Mhm.
just say I follow Jesus and that's who
Yeah.
I want to
Mhm.
emulate and that's how I want to go through the world, So
Mhm.
yeah, I don't really identify as anything specifically, but deep love for both.
Deep love.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Deep love for
Yeah,
both.
both had I'm sure, a powerful impact on your past and
Mhm.
nurtured you. So yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, and that's the thing. For me, the AME church I grew up in and the UMC churches that I served in, always progressive. So I
Mhm.
I never actually went through like a deconstruction
Mhm. Mhm.
period in my life because I was always raised this way.
More so.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And when I went to college, I went to a more conservative evangelical Christian college, and I was like, "What is happening?"
Eyes wide open.
I was very confused because that was
Yeah.
not what I had grown up with and what I was
Mhm.
exposed to or the
Yeah.
theology that I was taught. So it was really
Mhm.
eye-opening to
Hard.
see how the Bible is interpreted in different demographics.
Mm.
I think that I think a lot of people know this also. Just the difference in a Black church and a white
Mhm.
evangelical church is that there
Sure.
is a more social justice
Absolutely.
centered theology when it comes to Black liberation
Well, of
because
course.
it's
Yeah.
what it's what our whole background is from, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
Yes.
our approach to Christianity
Mhm.
is very
Mhm.
different. So yeah, it was an interesting experience to say the least.
Well, I am very thankful that you did not have to do any hard, deconstructing or didn't have
Yeah,
any, trauma too much so much
yeah,
until maybe you got to
yeah.
college. I don't know. But yeah,
No, I joke, I say this all the time. I was like, I went in liberal and I just came out super, super liberal
even
because
more.
I was like, woo. I was like, I do not want to be
Oh,
that. So yeah.
Mhm.
I often say the New Testament will do that to you
Mhm.
if you read it
Hey, yes,
honestly.
if
Yeah.
you actually read it.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, the New
That's
Testament
yeah.
will challenge you
Mhm.
to love the poor, to care for the
Mhm.
sick. That's what it calls us to do
It
Yeah,
if we're
does.
just
going to
open
be
your
honest
heart. It's
about it.
just opening your heart. That's what it
Mhm.
is. That's what it
Mhm.
Yeah.
is. And
It's so true.
yeah, and
And
you
we
just
Travis and I
focus
both
on the
are
Old Testament. Sorry, I was
Yeah,
just saying
go
that
ahead.
if
No,
you're
no,
just
no, you're
focused on the
fine.
Old Testament,
Mhm.
you're not gonna be able to be open to that change and that challenge. Yeah.
No, yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Absolutely.
It's difficult. And Travis, I know I'm not Travis, I don't know exactly where you call home. Were you from Rutherfordton,
No,
Travis?
I
Okay,
grew up in outside of Spartanburg, South
Spartanburg, that's right.
Carolina.
We
Mhm.
both are from the South, North and South
Okay.
Carolina, but we're both in North Carolina now. And so, um, yes, I still see it daily
Mm.
and
I'm
hear
Mhm.
it
sure.
daily, and have already been told, going to hell for doing this
Mhm.
podcast because
Yeah,
it's we're false prophets, but
of
like,
Mm.
course.
yes, and but at the same time, I think about how I was raised and the ways I was taught, and all these just terrible things, this pressure that they would put on children, and as your brain is like developing, and I just think back to like, well, for one, obviously, I grew up Pentecostal, and
Mhm.
so it was very, I mean, not even just, the normal conservative kind of thing, which is starting to become the norm again, unfortunately, but like no interracial, dating or
Mm.
marriage. No, of
Yeah.
course,
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
homosexuality. Of
Yeah.
course, you wear skirts. Of course, you save yourself, and so
Right.
to come out of that and completely walk away and then come back and try to reconstruct everything, because the entire time deep down I always like some of like all in school a ton of my best friends were Black too, and so it was always so hard for me. I was just like, I would hear these certain things from these other people, and I was just,
Mm.
how can you possibly say that or think that and tell me that you believe what you're teaching me? Like, I
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
understand, like, make it make sense. And so,
Mhm.
yeah, it's been very that's why I think it's been harder for me lately to get back, like, to not I'm trying to release the righteous anger, but not let it go any further than that, so I'm just like,
Mhm.
I get it. I get
yes,
it. It's very
Mm.
hard, and
it
it's a consuming emotion, and it's frustrating because you probably think, "Well, I was able to get to this
yeah,
conclusion.
yeah,
Why can't you? Why can't you see
mhm,
that this is what the loving way is? This is the
yes.
better way forward. This is how we should be treating one
Yeah,
another." Because I and the funny thing about it is that for me, I can't even wrap my mind around how to think the other way. Like,
mhm,
I
Mm.
only know how to think this way. I only know how to
yep,
be loving and empathetic and
exactly,
inclusive.
yep.
And I wish they knew what it feels like to feel this,
I
right?
know.
Because it's such a freeing feeling to be able
Mhm,
to love other people. And also
absolutely.
when you're able to do the work on yourself, then you love yourself and then you're able to
Exactly,
love others. But if you haven't
exactly.
done
Mhm.
that, like how can
Yeah,
you love your neighbor as you love yourself if you haven't done the self-love work, right?
Absolutely.
So that's that's just what I pray for people, that
yeah.
I wish that they would get to the point where they know what this feels like, because it really
Yes.
is, it's just better. Anger
It's
is
so
very consuming,
freeing.
hate is very
Mhm.
consuming. Yeah.
It's
It's
so
very
consuming.
freeing.
And I've
Yeah.
I've told many people this, but after I reconstructed and kinda started coming back around, because 'cause I'm like you, I don't really label myself. I just, love Jesus, basically, is what I tell
Mhm.
people too.
Yeah.
And but, like, when I came back, it was literally the, queer community, the music from the queer community, podcast, things like New Evangelicals, all these things that I was like, "Oh my god, like, I don't have to completely lose this thing that I did that was like an identity to me that I was very passionate about. I don't have to lose that to also love others." Terrible,
Yeah.
isn't it, to have to say that? Like, I
Yeah.
don't have to lose
Mhm.
faith
Yeah.
to still love other
Yeah.
people. Charity here, just jumping in really quick to tell you about our amazing sponsor, Blue Ridge Hope. Whether you are facing depression, anxiety, maybe you're going through grief, just feeling alone, they would love for you to give them a call because they want to be there for you. They offer affordable mental health counseling. youth mentorships, and community programs that, this is the best part, are all regardless of whether you can pay or not. So if you would like to check them out, head over to blueridgehope.org, or you can call them 828-202-3075. Thank you again so much to Blue Ridge Hope. Now back to the show.
One of the things that really struck me as we were talking about following Jesus and really kind of centering ourselves, not necessarily with a denominational label, but more of a Christ follower. I thought about what the people were challenging you with, Charity, which is false prophecy or false prophet.
Yeah.
And I think I would often go back to the fact of what is it that you have said that Jesus would disagree with? If I'm a false prophet,
say a lot, but it's not in the Bible.
So show me in the New Testament where Jesus would disagree with loving others and being inclusive to all people and caring for all people.
I love that.
If I'm a false prophet, then I guess Jesus made me one.
That is what actually, and I have told several people, the reason that I'm the way that I am now is because of what you taught me when I was younger. This radical love from a savior. That's for me. You also told me it's for everyone else. And now I'm seeing the opposite. I'm seeing you say, nope, just for, the white people in America and only the ones that we like, you know what I mean? And so it's like, I don't even know.
No, and it's interesting that you say that, because I've asked before, clearly I've gotten crickets, but I've asked before, who are you to put conditions on God's love, right?
Yeah.
And that is the main question that I have, is why do you get to decide who God loves and who God is holding in this moment, right? You don't get to decide that. And I never get an answer when I ask that. But it's very interesting how they've created God to be what they've decided Jesus said and didn't say, despite the words being right there.
Literally right there.
Yeah, literally. I mean, just open the book that you
read the red
follow,
letters, guys.
right?
Come
Read
on.
the red
I know
letters.
it's very simple.
Yeah.
I know.
I wish I could remember. I wish I could remember who said this, and I can't quote the person, but the quote is, "God made humanity in God's image, and humanity has kindly returned the favor."
Yeah,
that's
we
really
now
good.
have made God in our image. Yeah,
that is very good. Wow,
that is correct too.
and it is correct. Yes, because that's one thing that kills me more than anything, is seeing someone tell somebody, no, you can't be a Christian because you don't believe this, or you can't love Jesus and also do. I was in a Bible study one time, and we were talking about, okay, it's really weird. It was a really weird Bible study. I'm not a normal person. It was a Walking Dead Bible study.
And oh my gosh.
I know. Wait a minute. Malynda, were you in Walking Dead?
I loved Walking Dead.
Oh,
yeah,
you did.
I wasn't in it though. I wasn't in
it. Oh,
you
weren't in it. Okay. You never
no, I actually know, but you probably saw this. I was the host of the Walking Dead after show.
Yes, that's what I saw. Yes,
that's what I did.
So I connected with that.
Chris
okay.
Hardwick?
Yeah. No, it was online for the Stream Network.
That's
and so So
I knew you had a relationship with it, but I couldn't remember.
Yeah. So we did the online after show. That was so fun. But I watched. I watched
super fun.
Yeah.
But we had done that where we'd watch an episode and take a lot of stuff from it, and kind of put this Bible study around it. But it was still very. This was before I deconstructed back, And I'll never forget one time. It was one of the. Maybe Aaron, I can't remember which one. It was the gay couple, whoever it was in the show, The Walking Dead. And they had a kiss scene. And I remember the person that was doing the study was just like, well, okay, let's just address the one thing first. That makes Jesus cry. He's crying right now. And we're just going to pretend like that wasn't there. And I remember sitting there, and I think it wasn't long after that when I said, I'm done. I'm gone. But even that, even looking at it just in that way, are you serious? You think Jesus is crying that he doesn't love these two people?
Yeah, again, just take me back to the New Testament and show me where Jesus addresses
Where
that.
he's
It's not. They won't be able
and
to
it's
find
not
it.
there.
No, it's
Yeah,
not.
Mhm.
yeah.
I also
Uh-huh.
was curious if, you got to see the, Jubilee video, the surrounded one with,
With
who was
Mehdi?
it? Yeah, Mehdi, yes, Hassan. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Did you see it, Travis?
I have not yet, no.
Oh boy, I'll send it to
Brace
you later.
yourself.
Yeah, brace
Was
yourself.
it
Buckle
was
up.
it just released? Was it just out?
Yeah, like
Yeah,
Yeah,
a
from
it's the
few
from
most
days
recent
ago.
one.
speech.
Yeah.
They basically do this
Um,
thing, yeah, where they will put one person, like he was the one progressive, but
Mhm,
he's a journalist and extremely intelligent, and
mhm.
then they put 20 far right Republicans around him.
Mm.
But yeah, what happened was these are not just like
I mean, it basically
Republicans.
became a KKK rally. Is like
Oh,
I
wow.
mean, there's one guy.
I got scared for him. I'm not gonna lie. I got
Yeah.
very, very scared for him because of the
I did
rhetoric
too,
that was being
actually. I was very
spewed.
concerned, and I'm still a little bit concerned.
Yeah,
Just like I
yeah,
hope that he's staying safe right now, even. But yeah,
yeah.
that was eye-opening and shocking to me also to see the, no fear of just saying, "I'm a Nazi, I am
Mm.
fascist." Like, I mean, just
Mhm.
straight out,
To tell him that
and
he needs to leave because
yeah,
he's an
yeah.
immigrant
One of them, yeah, it's just like, "You'll
to
be the
his
first
face.
one that we send back." I mean, it's just
Yeah.
Mm.
like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Oh my
And I think
goodness.
what concerns me, because I'm not opposed to having conversations with
Me too.
people
Yeah,
on the right. I'm not opposed to it.
me either.
But what concerns me is what was the level of vetting done by Jubilee?
Yeah.
Because this was beyond even what
No,
Mehdi
no,
thought he was walking into.
Mm.
It's one thing to debate a far right conservative Republican, but
absolutely.
this
No,
was
this was
dangerous.
very dangerous.
Yeah.
And but
Yes.
you're right. It is very frustrating to think about
Yeah.
that with
Yeah.
Jubilee. Mhm.
Yeah. 'Cause they've had
Yeah.
I've seen conservative and Republican
Me too.
jubilees, and they've just been conservative, and it is what it
And
is,
just
but this
normal,
was
yeah. Well, even
yeah, this was
I
something
love to
else.
watch some of the people in background. Like, there's one girl I saw, she had, like, the white sweater on, and I could tell she was kind of like
She
they
felt
were
uncomfortable.
she said, "Okay, this is
Oh,
not what I
wow.
thought, was gonna happen."
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
Mm.
yeah, yeah.
But I think it speaks to something that we're all witnessing in our culture, which frightens me greatly, is the level of violence that we accept or that we're willing to allow.
Yep.
Which I mean,
Yeah.
violence has been around forever. We're not trying
Mhm.
to not say that, but it seems like in a public forum we seem to be so much more tolerant of visceral language,
Yeah.
violent behavior than we've ever been before. It troubles me greatly to look at that and begin to think about, where are we heading? What are we going to do to combat this?
Yep.
Mhm.
Because yeah, it's fearful.
That's what
Yeah.
scares me because I feel like it's kinda like what you were saying the other day in one of your lives, like, I just even being loving and trying to, like, bridge these divides and have conversations, we are just getting made fun of. Like, it's to
Mm,
that
mm,
point where, like, how do we approach in love when they mock us even for that, And it's like, I just don't know. I don't know how to
I
and
don't know.
I do understand, like, I have compassion because I was also brainwashed for a very long time and believed
Yeah.
not great things for a very long time. And so but I also know that I took time to try to, like, educate myself and move beyond that
Yeah.
and grow and mature, and so
yeah.
What was the first thing that you did, if you don't mind me asking,
sure, no, you mean like,
to
the
start to
first
kind of get out of that mindset? Like, what was the
okay, so
first thing that
yes,
you exposed
absolutely.
yourself to, or
Well, I actually my whole entire world was built around it. My identity, it was everything I did. My degree, which luckily I'm getting to use it again now finally, but it's in broadcast technology,
Oh,
production,
wow.
everything. And I went straight into Christian radio because that's what I was just like, I'm doing it. That's what I know I want to do. That's my passion. I want to do it. And it was great. The station I worked for, luckily, wonderful people, like I will say. But as I was there when, Dan Hasseltine, the lead singer of Jars of Clay,
Mhm.
um, just came and just said that he thought we should be more inclusive in the CCM world. We should be more inclusive with like the LGBTQ community and just everything. And he got destroyed for it. And it was so hard to watch. And then not long after that, Trey Pearson he used to be in a band called Everyday Sunday, which was one of my favorite bands growing up. He came out and he's living beautiful life now with a husband. You know, it's just beautiful. But he came out of it. And when he came out too, it was the same thing. Seeing the things and hearing the things from other certain record labels and Christian stations, that was mind blowing, I think. And that was the first time I really kind of was like, oh my God, like people aren't, like most people aren't in this for what they say they're in this for. You know, they're not. It's
Yeah.
about money again and power and what's going to bring the most, you know. And so that is where it started originally. And then after I had my son, I remember after having him is when it just took off. I was just like, because I started thinking about him and I was like thinking about him being in the situations that I was in, you know, at 10. He's 9 now, you know. And I mean, I was just terrible, terrible things like exorcisms I would watch, you know, being performed on children and like all these insane things. And when I started thinking about him and that fear that I had if he had it, it just all changed. It was just like at that moment I knew this is no longer, and if it is what I've been taught all my life is if this is the God, you know, that they want to work, I don't want any part of that. Like, you know, I just will, I don't want that God. So, you know, yeah.
No, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. You're sweet.
You know, we were talking about Southern culture and being from the South. Malynda, I think you spent some time in North Carolina.
And South Carolina.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah.
I know that I live in Asheville, North Carolina, so I'm not far from the Flat Rock Playhouse. And I think you were there. You started.
I was.
Yeah, let's talk about a little bit of your experience here.
Absolutely. You know, North Carolina was beautiful.
It is
coming
beautiful.
from LA and being able to actually see the stars it was
right.
just incredible.
Yeah.
So when I moved to New York shortly after college and I got my equity card, and one of my first shows was at Flat Rock Playhouse. And I really I loved the environment there. I really had a beautiful experience. Asheville was great. Flat Rock was great. I would love to go back to North Carolina and enjoy it. Went hiking. I mean, it really was a gorgeous, gorgeous state. And then a couple of years ago, I was in South Carolina shooting a movie. I was in Summerton, South Carolina.
Okay.
Yeah. Really, really small town. But we filmed the whole movie there. I was there for 6 weeks in the summer.
As we say around here, bless your heart. Bless your heart.
It was woo! Yeah. It was Woo, that humidity. Oh my goodness. But yeah, I mean, honestly, both were really lovely experiences, and it was so nice to get out of the city and just see some scenery. And yeah, exactly. So it was really nice. I really did enjoy my time there. Yeah.
How long did you
filming in Asheville sometimes too? So you know, so maybe you'll get to come there sometime and do a movie too. You know,
that'd be awesome.
What were you saying, Travis?
I was going to say, how long were you at Flat Rock Playhouse? How long did that play last? The series?
I was there for about almost 3 months, I believe. I think the show ran for about 8 weeks, and then we had rehearsals for 4 weeks. Yeah, so I was there for a while. Wow. Yeah, it was really nice.
A significant amount of time.
Yeah. That's I have a love for it. I would go back. Absolutely. It was really beautiful. Asheville was great. Asheville was really great. There was live music and good food. I had a great time there. Yeah,
it's probably the best place.
Live music every night in Asheville.
Yeah, it was really great. I loved it. Yeah.
I love Asheville so much. This is amazing. I also saw a video that you posted the other day of you singing, and my mouth just was like, okay, well.
Thank you.
Incredible, Travis. If you've not heard her sing,
I have heard her sing. It is amazing.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Thank you.
It's
Thank you
beautiful,
so
beautiful
Yeah.
much.
voice. Yes,
I try to
and,
use my voice in as many ways as possible. So
right.
singing,
Oh, you're
acting,
using them everywhere.
activism, yeah.
Mhm.
Perfect. I love
So
it.
some of your undergrad work was in voice, right? I mean, was in
Yeah,
Yep.
I
that's what
majored in vocal performance,
Okay.
emphasis in classical opera, and
yeah.
Oh
then
my
I
god.
minored in musical theater. Yeah, yeah,
That
Mhm.
is awesome. Do you have
yeah.
any new
So that
projects coming up that you can talk about yet?
yeah, I can actually. I just finished directing a film, and I
Mhm.
also starred in the film. Do you all know who Loretta Devine is?
Yes.
That sounds so
Okay, so
familiar.
yes, yeah. I guarantee if you saw her face,
I
you
would
would
know
know
Yeah.
her
her.
for
So
sure.
the movie that I did in South Carolina, I did with
Yeah.
her, and then I just directed her in another film and acted in it with her as well. So we're in
That's
post
awesome.
production for that right now. Yeah, and then I also am in post production for a film that I acted in, which oddly enough, this character was a little too on the nose.
Oh,
It's
no.
a film called The Enlightenment of Brittany Darlington, and the character that I play is a political activist that gets put in jail for speaking out against the president. I was like, well, I hope this isn't
I
like a
can do this.
prediction. I was like, I really hope
Yes.
this doesn't actually come true. But it was a great role to play. I got
Yeah,
to get out a little bit of that anger that we were talking about, that
exactly.
righteous anger, and
That's
put it
wonderful.
into the character. So those are the two upcoming film projects that I have right now. And then of course, just
Awesome.
doing all this stuff with New Evangelicals. We have so many
Mhm.
things coming down the pipeline with education and additional programming and
Oh,
more
I love it.
advocacy work. And I'm really excited to be able to work with that organization and put my heart into
Mhm.
something that matters to me, which is
Yeah, yeah.
using the faith that I have for good. Yeah.
Mhm.
That's beautiful, and I love it.
Thank you.
I love
Thank
it.
you.
I know you did so much work, but prior to the election to be
Mhm.
helpful to Kamala
Yeah.
Harris and
Hmm.
Tim Walz. How did you take care of yourself the days after the election when it was
Mhm.
clear things weren't gonna go the
Yeah.
way?
Yeah, I'm
I
curious to hear this.
appreciate that. I appreciate that. I really loved. I did a lot of work with DNC, with DPCC, with Kamala's
Mm,
campaign, and just as one of the content creators that went to the DNC and all of that.
mm,
And so it was. I will say the positive was it was really thrilling to be able to be behind the scenes and like see
mm,
how a campaign works
Yeah.
and understand how they're trying to present messaging to the masses. But the
Mhm.
unfortunate part of it is that the media does what the media is going to do.
Mhm.
I do have respect for journalism, of course,
Yeah.
but
mhm,
I think we know that media
Mhm.
does what's going to get them views, right? And so
Always,
unfortunately, a lot of
always.
Trump stuff gets
Mhm.
attention. People watch it,
mhm,
right?
Yep.
And I think after the election, I was very sad. I was
Mhm.
mhm,
very sad.
Yep.
I I wrote a long Substack about it. Just also being disappointed that I thought we were ready
Yeah, me too.
for not only a woman but a woman of color. I really
Yeah, me
thought we
too.
were ready.
Yep. Mhm.
I thought there was enough of Trump's nonsense to not convince people
Mhm.
to vote for him again.
Yep.
mhm,
And I was wrong, and I was saddened by that. Um, but it also gave me I tried to think positively, and I think the joy that I got out of it was that my daughter got to see me do work for a woman of color to
Is
try
that
to
not
get her
amazing?
elected. And she was sad, when Kamala didn't
I
win. My daughter's
know.
5. She's 5, but she was like, "Did you get to see Kamala Harris today? Like,
Oh,
or
of
what are you doing
course.
for Kamala today? Like, is she going to be president?" And so for her to be able to see
Yeah.
a woman and see her mom like do it just that is the takeaway that I had that I thought was
Yes.
really positive, that she could see that even though she didn't win, it's still possible to be in that position. And she does still know
Absolutely.
her as the vice president. And,
Yeah.
she got to see all these other women that I was working with, helping with the campaign and working with like Women for Kamala
That's
and Christians for
incredible.
Kamala. So I try to, you know, again, getting rid of that righteous anger and kind of going back to love. I try to focus on the positive things that I felt came out of her being platformed.
Same.
Sure.
Yeah.
I did the same thing though. I mean, I cried for probably 2 days straight almost after. And my child's very much the same. He's so and I'm not even attempting to do this, but I do feel like we're raising a little like justice warrior, social justice
I love
warrior.
it.
So angry at injustice, like, and probably just because he sees me, I felt like flip out. But like, we were also so expecting and so ready for Kamala to win. And I had let him be such a part of that. Like, also campaigning a little bit for her, going out and like doing these things. And we had signs in our yard, he helped us put the signs up and all these things. And I could not believe that my child was as heartbroken as he was. Like when she lost it, he was literally just as upset and sad, I think, as I was. And my husband too, he was so sweet, but he came and I was just so upset. And he just, he was wonderful. But he told me, he was like, he said, I think the saddest thing about all of this is just realizing that literally, like, we will still choose this bumbling, insane person over a woman because that's like what my husband believes. It comes down to there's just not enough men that are going to vote for a woman. And unfortunately, especially a woman of color, which is the exact person that I think we need right now in our country, leading it. Yes, the most marginalized, that understand, that want to, and so, very sad.
I feel like it's still gonna take a while to get over, but
it will.
Well, I mean, the reality with grief is it does come in waves.
It does.
Grief doesn't just subside and then go away. And there's all types of grief. And one of the things that I have found true in my life with grief is that, it'll come back and it'll come in from the shoreline again. And it seems like on a day that we don't expect it, it can show up.
Yes.
So one of the things you did, though, that I want to talk about for a moment in that work is that you got to work with a really good friend of mine who I've not seen him much in the recent years, but John Pavlitz and I have known each other for a really long time. And John and I lived in Charlotte at the same time and used to have coffee together and been to each other's homes. And John is just an amazing guy. I love John so much. And I know that you were able to do some really close work with you guys were working together.
So John and I have been friends now. It's going on 10 years next year because
wow.
I think it's so funny. We met on Twitter because we bonded over our frustration with Trump the first time.
Oh yeah. Feel that. Yep.
And then and he's just become one of my closest friends and mentors. And so we did a Christians for Kamala a virtual fundraising event for her. But he's just family, honestly. I mean, he's so supportive. I can call him, text him whenever, and we always check in with each other. He's just, I cannot say enough good things about that man. Truly. He is salt of the earth, just one of the good ones.
That's it.
Really
and the minute we met and connected, I was like, oh, I'm keeping you in a chokehold. I'm not gonna let
you're
you
mine
go.
now.
So,
exactly.
Yes, exactly. So I'm so grateful for that friendship and relationship because he has been such a great person to lean on. And I feel like I've been able to give him the support that he's needed whenever he's needed it as well. But he's just a good person. And I want to be around good people. Yeah.
And he's a North Carolinian.
Yeah.
Yes, he is. He is.
He and his wife Jennifer is also just an amazing human being. And just someone that I love very much and know that we have that person in common. So
I'm glad we have that in common.
I love that overlap probably even maybe the timelines even. Yep.
Yeah. So John and I, we got to know each other when he was working in a Methodist church in Charlotte. And that was the time we really got to know each other pretty well and spent some time having discussions about things people weren't even talking about yet on the national scene, or even
Y'all had to do it in private. Yeah.
truthfully, yeah,
Yeah, probably.
um,
Yeah.
In the South.
Yeah.
Yeah.
this would have been 2011. Yeah, it's around 2011.
Yep. Yeah.
But anyway, great guy. So just wanted to
Yes.
mention his
Yes.
name and
I love that.
solidarity
I
with
love
you.
that.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
I
It's a
love
good
how
one.
bold he is. He
Mhm.
says what I want to say, but it would sound so much harsher and mean if it came from me, but he just finds that way,
Yeah.
know?
He has
Just
that
saying it.
pastoral
He does.
aspect that is very
He does.
accessible and doesn't feel
Exactly.
like triggering pastor, Yeah, it's
That's it. Which actually
yeah.
Travis is a pastor also here.
Oh.
And it's funny because we connected, but after I left the church and everything, he has started this really cool thing in our town called Sacred Ale. And it's for people, it's in a bar, and we do it once a month. We just meet at a bar, and he leads it. He asks questions. We just discuss, like, what's been going on in our lives, what's been going on in the world, just to have like a little community. And I'm not even told you that. Oh my gosh, I'm not even told you this, even Travis, but that sounds kind of like how I feel about Travis. Once I met him for the first time, I was just like, okay, this guy's real, and I'm sure, to come from a background of pastors that were not genuine and caused a lot of hurt in my life, I
Mhm.
never expected for it to be pastor again, that would,
Yeah. Yeah.
touch my heart
Yeah.
so much. And yeah.
Yeah. I love
Mhm.
that.
Yeah.
I love that it's called Sacred Ale because when I was at the church that I led at, we had something called Spirit Pub. And it was
I love
There we
it.
go. We're gonna combine
and it
these.
was
Let's just
very
start up.
simple. It's very similar. People would
Cute.
meet at a bar and just like
Yeah.
have conversations. Yeah.
Mhm.
I was like, oh, that's cute. Sacred Ale.
Everyone should just start doing. We just need to all find our little
Yeah.
communities and branch out.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I
Well,
love
one
that.
of the
I love
things
that.
that it's so true about that is that it causes us to sit down with people sometimes that are different
Yep.
than we
Mhm.
are, or think
Yep.
different than we do.
Mhm.
But it gives us, well, our culture seems to be less tolerant now around civil conversation. But when we first started Sacred Ale, which is now 11 years ago, that was civil conversation was kind of at the core of it,
Mhm.
and still is that's one of the ground rules is we're going to respect each other, and if we're not
Yeah.
going to respect someone, then we need to end it.
Mhm.
And so my point with all that is to say, it really is where you can make a difference in someone's life.
Mhm.
Brene Brown says that it's hard to hate someone when you're sitting across the table from them.
Yeah.
Mm.
When we're sitting
Yeah.
eyeball to eyeball with someone, it's
So
really hard to
true.
hate.
It's so
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
It's so well. Brene Brown obviously has tons of genius statements, but that was one of them.
that is a good one.
Yeah, but it's so easy for people to be angry and bitter behind a keyboard. But when you do get eye to eye
Mhm.
with someone, I mean, you have to see
Oh
their
yeah.
humanity.
Yeah. Their
Absolutely.
humanity. Exactly. You
Mhm.
do. That's it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
Mhm.
I
That's why I
think
tell people get outside, talk to people, get off of
Mhm.
your phones. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely.
Go out
Meet
and
your
do.
neighbors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
Mhm.
go. Yeah, we've talked about, my husband and I was like, we should start taking Dez, our son, we should start taking him to like the soup kitchens, like do that like once a month or something
Mm.
to volunteer, just these little things just to try to like just get out in the community and talk to people that, also nobody else is really getting to them and,
Yeah.
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 helping. And it's
Yeah.
just hard. I mean, it's just heartbreaking. I love our town, but we do
Mhm.
have some very hateful people in our
Mm.
towns also, and so it's very hard. Even
Yeah.
at like,
Yeah.
we did well, my husband and I went to the No Kings rally here in our
Mm.
little town, and I was actually surprised. The turnout was great, but even at that, like, I've told this story before, but like a guy literally like pulled his gun and showed it to me. Like, yeah, and it's like this is a small town,
Yeah.
and
Right.
seeing that, it did, like, I wasn't scared because I was like, I'm in front of the courthouse. He's not gonna do anything. He's just trying to act
Right.
big and bad. But like seeing that, I was like, how are we now allowed? How is this
To just
allowed? to just like wave
Yeah.
a weapon at somebody because you disagree on some
Yeah.
policy and different things. Like, yeah.
I'm sorry that happened to you.
Oh, it's okay. It's fine. I'm kind of used to it.
I think that's one question that I kind of have as a follow-up with you, Malynda, is Charity was just talking about all the hurt that she experienced at the hands of pastors. And that really makes me sad because I know it's true. And I know people who have had the title that I carry have caused a lot of harm. But people who carry the title of Christian have caused a lot of harm too. One of the things that I like to ask others, because I've had to ask myself this question, why do we continue on in this faith? What is it about this faith, that this following Jesus, that keeps us going when there is so much harm that has been done under that name?
Well, I'm stubborn. And I'm not going to let people take a title from me just because they were ruining it.
Yes.
So that's really, really for me. I know what I committed to, and I know what I believe, and I know what I've read. And I fully believe if Jesus were to come back, I'm good, because I know that I've lived my life in a way that is really pleasing to God, and has completely advocated for others and loved them and done all the right things. This is what just works for me, and I understand when people walk away. I understand when people adjust. I think at the end of the day, I think religion was really supposed to just be a guide and a set of tools for us to be the best version of ourselves, and how it has been weaponized and changed and turned into a way to control people is really hurtful. But I am just of the mindset that I don't want to let them win, and I don't want to let that that narrative and that definition of a Christian win. And I don't even like saying I'm a progressive Christian. I'm like, no, I am a Christian because I am what a Christian is supposed to be. And I firmly believe in not allowing people to take that title and that label away from me.
Absolutely.
So
mine's very similar, actually. That's how I've felt. I'm kind of like, we are watching them just disgrace Jesus's name. And it really pisses me off, And so it's like, I am also a bit stubborn like that too, where I'm just like, no, we're not going to let you misrepresent and use this to gain power and to hurt others,
Right.
But it's also a part of why the work of the new evangelicals and others is so important, to reclaim the truth of Christianity, the power of faith, and say that, it's not going to be hijacked just from someone else just because they want to use it for political gain or so forth. We're living in a time where Christian nationalism is rampant in our culture, and which I find so interesting, the whole concept of Christian nationalism, because if you look back at the first 300 years of the early church, they would have been baffled to think any of us would be wanting to entangle ourselves with empire or align ourselves with state. It would completely blow their mind. But I think too, the thing that I love about reclaiming that is we're also saying, and I'm also trying to say, is Christianity does not hinge on the nation. If as much as I appreciate parts of the United States of America, if it fell tomorrow, Christianity would still stand.
Yeah. You're exactly
Christian
right.
nationalism would not.
Nope.
Correct.
Yep.
But Christianity would still stand. That's the truth of this faith. This faith is not dependent on any empire. It's dependent on Jesus, which transcends nationalism of any sort, whatever we want to line it.
Yes. And any political affiliation, whatever, it has nothing to do with it.
No.
It's interesting to see how much it has infiltrated everything. But I also don't think that people I think they're becoming more aware, but I don't think that they were aware of how big of a deal it is and
I
how
don't
it
either.
truly is taking over everything. And so even if you're not a person of faith, I mean,
Mhm.
it affects you. You
It
know,
does.
even if you don't follow Jesus, like we should all be pushing back against it because
Yeah,
it's not good for anyone. Yeah.
No, it's
Yeah.
not.
yeah.
Absolutely.
It's not leading down a path of any prosperity for anyone. Well,
Mm-mm.
No,
other than
no.
the people who want to hold the power, I guess
That
they
Well,
can
yeah.
use it.
1%. Yeah,
But
exactly.
but pretty much there's
Mm.
no collective liberation in it
No.
except for
No,
them. And I
no.
also just once you get your what you want, whatever that is, like I don't even really
Mhm.
know what they want,
I
honestly. I
I
think they're just kind of foaming at the mouth at anger
They
and then
are.
just like kind of
They don't
going
know what
for it.
they
But like
want. I know.
they don't. But like that's the thing is like what is the end game? What is the
I
result?
know.
What do you want? Because once you get rid
Mhm.
of everybody,
Yeah.
then you just have each other left. And
Mhm.
then you're gonna turn on one another. And then what's left,
Absolutely.
you
Yeah,
know?
Yeah, yeah.
exactly. That's so
That's one
true.
thing I've seen to be, I found to be so true about fundamentalism of any stripe.
Mhm.
Um, Someone who's a fundamentalist will always turn on themselves
Hmm.
eventually or their own
Mhm.
group. I
Mm.
watched that denominationally when the fights happened, and then all of a sudden they got out all the people they didn't want in the denomination, so they started fighting each other. I mean, I
Mhm.
think we're seeing that on the national stage too right
Yeah.
now. To a point.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
there's some things we're seeing on the national stage where the infighting is beginning to turn inward,
Oh,
or
it
that's what
is.
Yeah.
it is, infighting, but it's kind of moving inward,
It sure is.
which is oftentimes the case when extremism of any sort is in control.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And
That
that's
and
why
I
I
will
do get upset. Oh, sorry. I
No,
didn't
no,
mean
no,
to cut
you
you
go
off.
ahead, hon. You go right ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say that's what I get upset when I do see more progressive voices starting to fight. I'm like,
Yeah.
stop it.
Yeah.
We have the same
I know.
enemy. We need to focus on them. Don't start
Yes.
fighting. We don't have time for this.
No.
It frustrates me to no end because it's
Me
such a waste
too.
of
I
time.
know.
And while we're fighting, they're getting away with pulling all these things from under
Everything.
the rug from us,
And
right?
they're
So
laughing at all of
they're
us.
laughing.
I
Absolutely.
know. That's what I
Absolutely.
Mhm.
It drives me
I
crazy. It
mm-mm.
drives me crazy.
It's
I
insane.
always reference this. If people need a good movie to watch, watch A Bug's Life.
I
Watch A
Mm.
Bug's Life
I love A
because at
Bug's
the
Life.
very end, when Flick says to the little ant says to the
You're
grasshopper,
right.
There's more of us than there are of you, and you need
Yep.
us." And they
Mhm.
finally have that moment,
Yep.
and then they are able to fight all of the grasshoppers.
Mhm.
That's what we finally need. Like,
Yeah.
stop fighting each other about
Yeah.
this. Turn around
That's
and
Yeah.
see
it.
that it's the grasshoppers are the problem. It's not all of the other
Mhm.
ants.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That is yeah, and I think you're right. More people, even on that side, are starting to see the corruption in that
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
Even I
Yeah.
didn't expect really like the Epstein list to be the one thing that would
The one
randomly
thing.
make
Yeah.
a lot of MAGA start questioning,
Yeah.
but I don't care.
I'll
Like,
take it. Like,
come join us. Like, we
but
will
yeah. Yeah.
yes, like, no, and so I'm the same as you. I'm like, why do we want to be fighting these people? Because we're really their pawns, and so
Mhm.
we need
Mhm.
to yeah, we gotta stop letting them control us.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
Part of the work I do is with nonprofit mental health work, and one of the great
Mm,
concerns that I see in the rural South is that so many people are going to be losing their Medicaid. They're going to
mhm,
be losing some of the things that are coming down the pike in 2026 are going to really hurt vulnerable, poor communities.
yep,
Um, so it's going to be interesting when all of those things take place. I mean, they can't change it now,
mhm.
but where some of the reckoning is going to happen will be both heartbreaking and interesting
Yeah.
to watch.
I will
I
be
think
very curious to
absolutely.
see how people react to that
Yeah.
once it's in effect.
Well, it's after the midterms,
Oh,
so
I know, but yeah, and that everything is by design. Even
Of
like
course.
right now, where
mhm.
they went ahead and did their little recess before voting on anything. They know
Yeah.
what they're doing, and
But at the same time, I think that there's a level of panic, and so they're making
for
all
sure.
of these I mean, they even brought back Hillary's emails, like, if you guys don't smell the desperation at this
That's what
point, then
I'm
I
saying.
really don't
That is
know
what
what to tell you. I mean, they're trying to prosecute Obama. They're bringing back the emails. They're going. I mean, it's just this one thing after another that is really making the situation worse. And I do hope that it is a wake up call. I think enough people do know that these things aren't going into effect until after the midterms, so they know that it's not going to be the Democrats that get voted in the midterms, right? They have to be aware at this point.
Exactly.
I mean, we have another year until that happens. So we will see. But I have said, when the tide turns, I mean, it's going to be his own base.
Yep.
It is. They're going to
has
feel
to be
betrayed and angry, and they will have this enlightening moment, and they will turn on him.
Yes, they will. Absolutely. I agree. Oh, well, Malynda, I don't want to keep you too long. I know we had you scheduled till 5:30, so I have thoroughly enjoyed this
Thank you.
conversation.
Yes, me
Yes,
too.
we would love to have you back on anytime to talk about whatever you would like to talk about. Because we didn't even get to, I wanted to talk about, what you started with, what's it called? Black Voices?
Black
Or
Voices
like,
Heard, yeah.
yes, oh my God.
There's no
One night
shortage
I
of things to talk about, so
Oh,
we'll
there
definitely
never
do this
is. There
again.
never is. But I was just like scrolling and just watching every single one. And they were just, it was just so powerful, and I was just like, wow, this is such a great, beautiful
And
thing
thank
to
you.
start. Yeah.
Thank you for the good work that you're doing, the good work
Thank
you
you so
continue to do.
Truly, truly. Thank
I
you.
appreciate that.
And if you want, I will leave all of your information in our show notes. But if you want to plug anything, like I know we've talked about some of your movies, you've got one coming up that you're directing, anything like that, you can plug it.
Just, you can go to my website, MalyndaHale.com, and you'll be able to see all of the stuff that I have coming up. Easy. Keep it easy. One link for people.
That's what I try to do. I'm the same. My husband is actually a product web designer, and I'm like, get the podcast website up, okay, please, because I got to get that thing up. So I get it.
Yeah.
Well,
we hope you come back to North Carolina soon. We've got John Pavlitz. Maybe don't come in the summer, but fall, we'll get you back.
All beautiful. Come at like the beginning of November. It's perfect.
That's when I was there before, and that's why I fell in love with it. Yeah,
It's
I came
so
in like
nice.
mid-October and left right before Christmas. That was
It's gorgeous.
gorgeous.
I know.
I'd love to have you back anytime.
Yeah, but yes, welcome back anytime, and we really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. You're both
Thank
wonderful.
you so much. You have a wonderful evening.
You too. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.